Thanks for joining us this afternoon, America. I'm coming to you live from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Indivisible with John Stubbins. Again, I want to make sure that you guys are following us on all platforms. Go to indivisibleevents.us and you can follow us on all of our platforms. I want to welcome my guest today, Pete Santilli of the Pete Santilli Show from Cincinnati. We're thrilled to have him. Made a new relationship that we've been looking forward to having after having Lindsay Grathwall on the show, obviously with Trevor and also Gunner. So we've been covering the Marxist agenda. We're at the symposium today, Michael Lindell Symposium Live, and we're just thrilled to have you, Pete.
The symposium came because of Marxism.
That's right.
Full blown, let's get the remaining balance of our people installed through electronic voting machine fraud. And we're fighting tooth and nail to try to expose it.
It's really dangerous. And you come to a symposium like this where we're dealing with election fraud across states like Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia. And we want to take a look at all the states now.
Yeah.
Let's do forensic audits on all the states to ensure that we have fair and balanced, elections across America. That includes California. That includes states like Ohio, where President Trump already won and won big. But we still want to do the audits because we believe that the numbers are off. And I know you've got lots of opinions on that, Pete.
I do, but the main thing, not my main takeaway from this event, but my main mission going forward is to tell everybody, we keep screaming at the people that are in power. Those are the ones that screwed up our system.
That's right.
And they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, we need to figure this out on our own at this point. We're on our own, and our government is of, by, and for our people.
We the people.
And it's the people that are going to get this fixed. And it's easy. It's an easy fix.
Like I always tell people, look, this being a military veteran, we when we look at enemies.
What branch of the service? I didn't know this.
Air Force. And a couple of my buddies will joke with me on that we're Marines. So we get a kick out of it. Go yonder, high into the sun. But I was going to say, when we're dealing with the election fraud, it's something that they need to take seriously. Whether you're Democrat, whether you're Republican, you need to take it seriously because it affects all of us. And sooner or later, it's going to come to your doorstep. But you're absolutely right. The people that put us in this position, are the people that are in power. Some of these rhinos that are there that have just made life miserable on the rest of us. But it is we the people. And it is all enemies, foreign and domestic. I don't want to forget that. That was my point that I was trying to get to. People forget that part of it. When we're dealing with high treason and piracy, we're talking about across the plethora, whether it be Congress, which we believe at least 75% of Congress is subject RICO mob in these investigations. We know that they're dirty, and we know that they're what they've done with stealing our money, whether it's the election fraud, whether it's this virus. We can go on and on and on. The border, it never stops. But they're not doing the will of the people, are they, Pete?
No, absolutely not. But they need to see what the will of the people is. Kind of like, and I'm not afraid to say it because I was there on January 6th in Washington, D.C. in that fashion where we, the people, get together shoulder to shoulder for a beautiful event.
Yeah.
January 6th and what happened January 6th in Washington, D.C. has nothing to do with some narrative where a couple of people went in there and broke windows. We can go into the minutiae.
Right.
I breathe the air of hundreds of thousands of flags waving. I mean, you're never going to experience that level of love of country. And a bunch of people shoulder to shoulder is called the will of the people.
Amen.
Present. You can't delete us. You can't throw people up at the front to break some windows and demonize 1.5 million flag wavers.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And look, we had Jeff Zink from Arizona. He was on a couple weeks ago with Roger Stone. I had Roger Stone on the show. And I brought Jeff on because his son was one of the ones arrested there. And since then, we've talked to multiple people that have had either relatives or friends arrested there, even law enforcement officers, FBI. Tucker Carlson was talking about that. Look, this was a setup. We know it was a setup, okay? And on top of that, a lot of these people were waved in by law enforcement. And in addition to that, everybody there was not a Trump supporter. They might have been disguised as Trump supporters, but we both know that that's not the case.
No. And those are the specific details of something called a color revolution.
Right.
When you are launching a color revolution in other countries on behalf of the CIA, you exploit the emotions of the crowd.
Amen.
In most cases, you provoke or manufacture. It's called a Hegelian dialectic. I'm sure you're familiar with the term.
Yes.
The Hegelian dialectic is, when they say problem, reaction, solution, these people create the problem. They know what the reaction is going to be. It's going to be emotional, right? People are going to be charged up. And then you position all of that work so they can get to the podium and say, ladies and gentlemen, I know how emotional you are about this issue. We can fix this.
That's right.
And it's the people. It's like the arsonist, right? Showing up at the podium saying he knows how to put fires out.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah. My butt. Look, I got to tell you, and here's the other thing, okay? Because this critical race theory nonsense doesn't stop. In fact, when I got to the hotel last night, it was on again. There were parents being shut down now. Now they're being shut down at these PTA meetings, at these school board meetings. They don't want to talk about it. They're trying to silence them. They're trying to take it off of social media so that the American people aren't seeing it. Where have we seen this play out before? Okay, they're coming after everybody now.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter if it's critical race theory. It doesn't matter if it's at the border. It doesn't matter if it's COVID. Whatever the situation is, America, they're coming after you to cancel you if you bring it up at all. If you get into any of it at all, they want to disturb you. They want to make it a big deal. So, look, if they're willing to cancel you and try to shut you up, we've got a problem. And I guarantee you, people like Pete and I, we're not going to put up with it.
No, but guess what? The people that are listening to our voices right now, always remember, we outnumber these people 80,000 to 1, which means what? Not that we're going to go do something illegal or violent or anything like that. When you have 80,000 people and there's one guy listening to them, you don't need to fire a gun. 80,000 people saying, guess what you're going to do? You're going to walk out on the plank and you're going to take a swan dive.
That's right. That's right.
And what's he going to say? No.
Yeah. No. And by the way, it was interesting because my friend Laura Logan, she's like a sister to me, mentor.
Really?
Her husband,
great
Joe.
Journalist. Great
journalist. Absolutely. And she's wonderful. She really has guided my way, along with David Padrush, who's Mark Levin's executive producer. But I want to say, Joe was here last night. We had a long conversation, and he invited me down to Fredericksburg. But the reason I bring this up is because my friend Laura is at the border every other week. She's in a helicopter. She's on the ground. She gives me up-to-date information on what's going on down there live so that we know, okay? And when you can see it from high above in the helicopter, on the ground, talking to the people you know, and you can communicate the message. But that border is a sieve, people. It's a sieve. And I got to tell you right now, if we don't put a stop to that, you can forget having a country because it's gone.
Oh, yeah. Human trafficking, drug trafficking. When you flood the zone, as they say, right? You flood the zone. Like for instance, in the Middle East, they get a bunch of Palestinians protesting, and they're literally human shields because you got Hamas mingling among them.
Right.
You got the IDF on the other side, and all the Israelis wanting to protect their borders and stuff because they got border issues. You need to consider the fact that the people that we're seeing en masse, it is the problem, okay? But you also, and we won't have a country to bring that many people in. But right now, what we need to be concerned about is that massive people that are going to destroy our country are literally human shields to something even more nefarious, mingling among them. The drug traffickers, the human traffickers, the cartel members, MS-13,
pick your drug.
Terrorists.
Pick your drug. Cocaine, fentanyl. It doesn't matter. Look, whatever it is, It's kill.
Yeah.
It's kill the Americans. And what are they doing? They're killing us.
Yeah.
They're killing us. How many overdoses are we talking about here? When President Trump got involved, he decided to stamp it out. He was really doing a heck of a job. Okay. Now Biden opens up the borders. It's a free-for-all again. Come on, come all.
Yeah.
Where does it stop, people?
Look at you got me frowning.
Yeah.
I'm looking on camera on screen. I'm frowning because
it pisses you off.
It really, really should upset everybody, folks.
Yeah, I mean, because look, people, you think this doesn't affect you? Maybe you might say, "Well, I don't use drugs, so it doesn't affect me." Bull crap. Okay, what about your nephew or your niece or your granddaughter or your son? It's affecting them, which in turn affects your household. You chip away at the family one little piece at a time. And look, our families are in danger. That's what they're coming after ultimately, whether it's through critical race theory, whether it's the drugs, whether it's, Islamic stealth jihad, whatever the issue, they're coming after our families.
I didn't use the term because I didn't know you at the time, unfortunately. I think we're going to get along famously.
Yes.
But I'm going to say this. I used the term when we were transition of power. Transition.
Right.
And I'm like, I know what's going to go on in the border. There's going to be a transition of power from a law-abiding citizenry and a government to transitioning to the power of the cartels, the criminal, the gift that keeps on giving. They actually are reselling
radical Islam.
They're drugs. You snort up the drugs, but the gift that keeps on giving are the women and the children that they're using for sex trafficking. President Trump put a stop to that.
That's right.
If you had El Chapo sitting in a warehouse with $100 billion in cocaine and it didn't move anywhere, how much power and money and influence does he have?
Yeah.
When Joe Biden came in, there was a transition of power. Those drugs started moving. And
absolutely.
Money started coming in. Now, where does the power shift from? It's not to Joe Biden. It's to the El Chapos of South America and the drug cartels.
Yeah. And not only that, think about it like this, okay? Because you see how they use these kids, to get over the border. These are 18, 19, 20-year-old males, war fighting age males from the Middle East, Africa. I mean, this is not just Mexico. This is not just South America or Guatemala. Look, people, you got to wake up because they are coming in. They're using these little babies, these little toddlers to get across the border.
Yeah. And
then what do you see 10 minutes later? The toddler standing on the side of the road with no parent.
Yeah.
So they're using them to get across.
Yeah.
And then once they get across, they're bye-bye.
They ditch them. Yeah. And those children, unfortunately, are getting recycled into human trafficking and sex trafficking networks. They'll get scooped up, for compassionate reasons, which it should be. And you think, let's go save the children. Let's go save the children. I don't know if you know this. We have military that's helping facilitate the trafficking of these humans to the various cities.
It's a disaster.
It
is a disaster. Pete, we're going to take a quick break, but we're thrilled to have Pete Santilli here, and we look forward to joining him down in Cincinnati. We'll be right back. Big news, America. Mike is bringing back the pillow offer for just $29.98. They're the softest pillows. They don't go flat. Wash them and dry them as many times as you like, and they still keep your shape. And they're made in America. Mike is offering his premium My Pillows at his lowest price ever. Queen size for $29.98, regularly $69.98. That's a $40 savings. And king size, only $5 more. Go to mypillow.com and enter the promo code Indivisible for my show. Or call 1-800-716-4639 and give them the code Indivisible for my show, and you're going to get huge savings. That's our sponsor, Mike Lindell from My Pillow, who is putting on the symposium. And we've added another sponsor. I want to get to that right now. ClaraLife provides high-quality EDTA chelation products that help expel toxic heavy metals from the body that build up over time. This is great for veterans, first responders, police officers, construction workers, and anyone who lives in modern society because of the high amounts of metals consumed through simple acts of taking a shower, starting our cars. Heavy metals such as lead have been shown to cause serious health-related issues over time, and the traditional IV-administered EDTA treatment is evasive, time-consuming, and costly. ClaraLife provides thoroughly vetted, safe-to-use EDTA treatment in a cream form that is easy to apply and extremely affordable compared to conventional methods. Learn more today at claralife.com. Live a better life with ClaraLife. And I'm going to play a quick 30-second spot on ClaraLife.
Exposure to heavy metals is a major issue that affects everyone. They're everywhere, including our air, food, and water, and have been scientifically linked to many serious health conditions. Unfortunately, we do not have an effective mechanism to remove them from our bodies. Detoxicream is a revolutionary product that helps safely and effectively remove heavy metals. It's easy to apply and safe for all ages.
Thank you.
We're back. Just want to just wrap this up, Pete. We've got a busy day. I've got a bunch of interviews. Pete's got interviews with his show. We're going to do this again when we get back home.
No doubt.
We're excited about it. I'm going to come on Pete's show.
Yeah.
Pete's going to come back on my show. We'll be able to do it from our home base where we have all of our gadgets and whistles. Pete, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you. And I'll tell you what, fellow Ohioans, we're going to be getting together. We'll do some great work together. So
absolutely,
it's an honor to be speaking to your audience, and we'll certainly have you on my show as well.
God bless you, Pete.
Thank you.
Thank you, America. We'll be back later on this afternoon. Thank you.